This is the watch list video for Thursday, May 12th. I got pulled away from the market after the first, about the first half hour, so maybe the first hour. I can't remember this morning. So I didn't trade the afternoon at all. You can see the SPY closed at its lows, reversing all of yesterday's move, and retail got killed today, so things were pretty ugly. But I made a couple calls this morning and made my day. I'll show you real quick. CSIQ was on the gap playlist, and I called it long. Just over this candle, 1764, 17, right below 1750 stop, so 1749 stop. So only 15 cents risk, and we got a quick move up over 1840. So 82-cent move in our favor on 15 cents risk. If you're a day trader, that's all you need to make your day. Also got Fossil, F-O-S-L. This is an absolute team effort in the chat room. A few people had posted, we put this on watch because of the big gap down, obviously, but a few people had posted how interesting this was when it looked like this, and I agreed. So put it on radar, and then it kind of tailed off, and then when it started to come back up, before this candle, we had 2 or 3 people say, hey, Fossil's getting close, and I'd already called it. I said, if it hits 28 again, stop at 27.75, and we had 2 or 3 people alert that FOSL was getting back close to 28, so it was an absolute, just a picture-perfect team effort there, and it gave us time to get in, and we were able to get in at 28, maybe even in the 27.90s if people were quick. But we already had it on radar thanks to some, anyway, just a group effort. I don't mean to brag, but it was touching to watch almost. And then you can see what it did over the next 30 to 40 minutes. It went up all the way to 29.69. So a $1.69 move again on 25 cents risk, and this one actually goes on watch for tomorrow again. Okay, so it came down and really kind of held this support, or closed slightly above these lows, right? If you want to call 28.26 support, it closed slightly above that. Nice volume. So if the market has any strength tomorrow, Fossil might start working up into that gap. So that's one that I'm watching. MOMO, really beating up stock here, and now down near these April lows, which was, let's see, 1057. Got to 1065 today, but this thing was just 4 days ago was 16 and a half. Okay, so this one goes on bounce watch for tomorrow. MOMO. SYNC gapped up today. I actually kind of I don't usually do this. I made a pre-market call in this one at I think 358 to 360, and I sold half into the open as it popped, and the rest slightly green. So, but it's not very often that I trade pre-market, but I want to watch this one again tomorrow. It's had a lot of good news, and the market was weak today, so it closed near its lows, but that's one that I want to watch for a potential move up tomorrow, even though the chart looks a little bit weird. Crocs, CROX, huge move yesterday, then today. You could argue that maybe a quiet inside, or selling because of the market, and so you have a quiet kind of inside day. So anyway, with this kind of big move, if the market shows any strength tomorrow, they might go right back into Crocs for a third day play. All right, Activision, ATVI. Had a nice green day and a very weak tape, right? Because of EA, I think, is just kind of a sympathy play to that. But it already had earnings, and earnings were good. So I would have had this on bounce watch even if EA wasn't gapping up today. And I like the strength versus the market. So I'll be looking for a potential long in that one tomorrow. Remember, guys, if you're watching these videos, I'm looking for stuff that can make myself, and our members money tomorrow. I go to cash before the close every day. So I'm trying to find that a lot of people might look at my videos and say, well, Activision needs to come in a little bit, or or you're chasing this, or you're chasing that. They go on watch, but then the entries are all based on intraday. So I've always wanted this website, and I think I've achieved it, to be a place where members can log in at any time and hopefully catch a trade, make some money, and log back out. So it's perfect for people that can't be in front of the screens all day, but might have a few minutes here or there during the week to log in. There's always somebody stocking something. So great teamwork in there. So anyway, just keep that in mind. I'm not calling any of these for overnight holds. All right. So Activision looks good for a potential long tomorrow. Again, we don't fight the market. So if the market's tanking, we'll look to other stuff. Right. ORIG. You know what? I'm going to draw a line here. Segment. All right. Here, you're kind of flagging on ORIG. Not perfect, but anyway, you can see that. Nice volume here, and then it's been flagging ever since. And if you look at USO, which I use for oil, that thing turned up nicely today. And kind of a rare situation when oil and the overall market kind of separated like Elliott and ET today. I think I just dated myself, but You know, the market was weak, and generally the market's been moving with oil. So anyway, with oil strong, it might just have another push up tomorrow. I want to keep an eye on ORIG on that flag. All right, so we'll keep an eye on ORIG with oil tomorrow. HEAR. Interesting pop on big volume today. I believe this was on earnings. Going to look for a follow-through day tomorrow. CCXI. This one, I mean, this thing feels like it's so ahead of itself. But you had the gap up, sold off all day, and then just ripped today. Again, I was gone for most of the day after I made my first 2 trades this morning. So I really don't even know what caused that. But with 20 million shares traded, as a day trader, I've got to watch this one for the next several days. Tomorrow seems too soon, maybe, like it needs to come in, but we will watch. Maybe it gets maybe a slight gap down in a red to green something, but that one's got to be on watch for the next several days. And lastly, JACK. This was tanking into earnings, I believe, because in after hours I noticed it's up at 72 bucks. So it was rolling over into earnings. I'm assuming they must have surprised to the upside. So that'll be a potential gap play for tomorrow. All right, and we'll watch for gappers in the morning as a group. We'll work together and identify some gappers, hopefully get some nice trades, just like CSIQ wasn't even on watch last night in the video, and we found it this morning as a gapper. Ended up being you know, a fantastic trade this morning. So I'm going to leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.